Yesterday, I really lost my love for making videos, or lost the fun of it, or why I like doing it in the first place, basically. Um, and I think that might be a good thing because I do need to scope out different states as far as like my next place to live. So I need to focus in different directions mainly. Um, I feel like my videos have helped me personally cover a lot of ground that I would not have made with a counselor. Um, going to the hard places, like the really difficult places of my past that um, I never really faced. Um, but I feel like I'm at a pretty good spot of like I don't really need to make videos as much anymore. It's not as much of a urgency for therapy reasons, like to push myself, but um, I feel like I kind of hit uh, that peak of it, but and I'm ready to focus on something that excites me more. Like Chico says in his videos, chasing the butterfly feelings. I want to do that. Chase the butterfly feelings that I used to have. You know, and I think that uh, traveling to a new place that I've never been gives me the butterfly feelings. It really does. And my my friends are like, well, one of my friends is traveling to a new state. Kind of just blind. Why can't I do that? I'm kind of just keeping myself stuck, basically. Like, uh, but and I think I would heal faster in a different state. And I do have good friends, pretty good friends in a different state. That I used to live um, at. So I may visit that state and see if I really want to move back there or not, or if I want to move to a whole different state that I've never been to before. You know, uh, that I don't know the terrain. I don't know. What I'm saying, where things are. And, I'm not sure if I'm ready for a jump to a whole new state where I don't know the terrain as a permanent staying for a little while. Because I don't really want to make a stupid jump blind. I definitely want to at least scope the state, see how I like it, see how I like the weather, see how I like the people. Um, and I hear, from another video today that someone moved to Florida and they loved it. Just going blind to Florida and they've loved it in Florida. So apparently you can find happiness in Florida or something. That's the happy place or something. I don't know. Because it is hard to it's hard for me to be happy in a cold state where it snows, because I wasn't raised in a state that snowed. So it has been kind of a tough adjustment for me to be in a state that snows and is cold half the year. But I don't know. I definitely want the state I go to not be snowing half the year if I can avoid it. I A lot of people say they would take the snow over the heat, but I wouldn't. Nope. I would still take the heat over snow any day. Any day. I struggle in the cold with a lot of things. It affects your injuries a lot worse. Like if you have a bad knee, your knee will feel way worse in the winter than it would normally feel in a state where it's hot all year round. So that's a big thing, and plus I kind of have that seasonal depression, that happens in the cold that I try to fight with vitamin D, basically. And it's still a fight, even with vitamin D, it's still a struggle in the winter. So, and I do think I was happier in the warmer states, overall. If you minus the family part of my upbringing and you minus the religion part of my upbringing, the state I grew up in wasn't that bad if you cut out that part. If it was just me, my friends, and that state, it wasn't that bad, even with the heat, but I do admit the heat it is kind of harder to get used to. It's not like when you're younger, it seemed like I could take the heat more when I was younger than I could when I was in my 20s, for example. But anyways, but yeah, I kind of just lost the love for making videos yesterday, and just one of my videos really took off more than I thought it would, and it was the Dave one. I thought it was going to get 20 views from my subscribers, and that would be the end of it. That's it. Nope. Kept rising and rising, and I didn't even realize it was kept on rising and rising. I think it's like you have 500 views right now. I'm just like, how's that even possible? I was just stating the obvious, I thought, pretty obvious. But I don't know. I guess I do have an advantage of I was around literally a religious narcissist, one in particular, more than any other person on the planet. I was around this one religious narcissist. And yes, they do have the same last name as me. And it's the final person I went no contact from family. So save the toughest to last. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I've seen an in-depth look, up close, personal, of being around a religious narcissist, both outside the house and inside the house, over and over and over. Going out, the fake public persona in church, coming back. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth for years and years and years growing up. So yeah, but yeah, I just kind of had a I'll call it a Goodwill Hunting uh, moment yesterday, trying to respond to all the people that were debating what I said. And you know that part in Goodwill Hunting where Will Hunting, and who is the main character, is trying to explain to the math teacher, uh, that supposedly knows all these credentials, knows all these things, but Will Hunting doesn't have any of those credentials. And he's yelling at the guy saying, you know how fucking easy this is for me? Do you realize how fucking easy this is for me? You know, and I don't want to sit here and explain this shit to you professors of how easy this all is for me. And that's how I felt yesterday about how easy it is for me to see a religious narcissist rather than any other narcissist. The ones that use religion as the cover, you know, specifically, I can spot them easier than other narcissists for sure, because I have had firsthand experience around one religious narcissist that pretty much owned me, worked me my whole life. So I know how they operate, and I know how deadly they are, and I know how good they are. To the point where I was just like, fuck it, you know, I can't beat this. I can't beat this. And so I had a trauma bond, Stockholm syndrome, you know, from that, you know, being around it. And I admit my negative outlook in life has come from that religious narcissist, that hateful, hate everybody outlook. I don't hate everybody like I used to, but like hate everything. And but they try to pretend like they don't hate everybody. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really pretending. I was pretty vocal, you know, hating the world. So, but they try to cover it up, their hate, the real hate. You know what I mean? They try very hard to cover it up and show you this perfect, soft-spoken, religious person that reads the scriptures every day, prays 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? That kind of false character. While I know what the real character is, you know, the mean one. The whole time they're trying to portray this soft-spoken, righteous, go to the temple, you know, persona. So, anyways, but yeah, I just had that Goodwill Hunting moment, and I'm just like, I don't even want to make videos anymore. I really don't. And I never thought I'd say that, because like I liked making videos more than than my main job, my real job. But now I like my real job more than making videos, which is pretty crazy. Which is something I thought I never would say. So, but yeah, I may back off for a while on making videos, because I do need to focus on other things. I haven't really been out of the woods for very long, you know. I implemented no contact about a year ago. Roughly about a year is the last time I saw my father. But as far as all narcissists go, I haven't been away from. My last roommate was a narcissist, so I've only been away from him for 6 months, and he was really making the nervous system go. You know what I'm saying? On purpose. You know how it is. Like everything they do is on purpose. Banging on my door every day, banging on my door, yelling out my name every time they come home from work, yelling. You know what I'm saying? Just jumpy stuff all the time. You know how it is. So I haven't been away from that, and for a year. Like my family, I'm counting my family as the main no contact, but from a friend no contact, who I thought was my friend, it's only been like 6 months, or yeah, about 6 months. So I haven't been away from all narcissists as a whole for very long. So, in my opinion. So, anyways, they are what I'm used to mostly, but I don't want to be used to that anymore. You know, that isn't good for me, even though I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's what I was used to. I know it's not good for me, and I know what it did to me long term. You know what I mean? Overall, it wasn't a good outcome for me. But they were fine, but not for me. It was a bad outcome for me. So I know Chico was kicked out of his house when he was young at 14. I was actually boxed in. So it would have been good if I was kicked out of my house at 14. But I was actually boxed in, and you know what I mean, at that age. So after traumatic events, basically. But anyways, that's all in the past. But yeah, I do need to focus on, and I think that was kind of a sign to me yesterday. Just like, I don't even like doing this anymore. Like, I don't want to respond to 100 million people. You know what I'm saying? About the obviousness of a religious narcissist. You know, I don't want to do that all day. Because I'm not getting paid to do that, and I don't like to do that. You know, I don't like explaining this. Like Will Hunting. You know how fucking easy this is for me? You know? It's funny how Will Hunting kind of has kind of a similar backstory. You know what I mean? As far as crazy shit happening to him growing up, you know. But I don't think I'm as smart as Will Hunting. But as far as like spotting certain things, I'm all right at spotting, especially the religious, the ones that are really putting their persona out there as the perfect righteous person that you've ever seen before. It's like almost too perfect to be true, you know. That's how righteous they are, you know. That kind of shit I can spot pretty easy. But anyways, so I don't know if yeah, unless I'm struggling with a topic, or I feel myself wanting to relapse and break no contact, I'll make a video to stop myself. You know, that's the only thing. That's the only reason I'll do a video, probably, is to stop myself from relapse. Because I do consider the trauma bond as an addiction, more so than any addiction I've ever had, honestly. Way bigger pull than cigarettes, in my opinion. And I was addicted to cigarettes for 6 years. The pull with the trauma bond stronger than the cigarette addiction. So it's legit. So anyways, that's probably the only reason I would make a video, is to stop myself from a relapse with a person. You know. But but I do think I'm doing all right. Um, I do think I need to open my horizons and not hold myself back, because I still kind of live as if I'm in the same house as a narcissist. You know what I mean? But I don't have to live that way anymore. But my brain doesn't really know that, if that makes sense. It doesn't know that the coast is clear. The coast is really clear this time. It's really over this time. The brain doesn't really believe me or believe that it's over. It's finally over. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to tell my brain that, yeah, it's probably over. God may have been telling the truth. God may be not joking with you, as in your childhood. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of thing. But anyways, but yeah, I'm not really cut out to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Not like the narcissists that are making money and selling products, and you know what I'm saying? Not like them. I don't love it that much, to be keeping on doing this like forever. No. And I think I don't need to do it anymore, really. I never really had to do it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I had no subscribers for like 2 years. I was just used to me and me only. You know what I'm saying? Until people started subscribing, like real people started subscribing. I don't even ask them to. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they just subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask people to subscribe or like or share, or, I don't ask for that. I haven't asked for that once. So, because I want this to go at a slow pace for my own sake, because I'm still healing, and like, if the heat starts coming at me, and if I have a video that gets more popular and the heat starts coming at me, I don't know if I'm ready to deal with that in this certain position I'm in, because a lot of heat came at me for most of my life. And I don't want that to continue if I can avoid it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, I want to feel like I'm free of the heat, you know what I'm saying? Like free of the psychopath grip controlling me, if that makes sense. Because I don't feel like I'm free yet. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like I'm free, like I could be. And I know I could be really free. And so that's what I want, is that real free. Of not being intimidated by people that think they own me, or the people that think they can bark at me, try to provoke me, I want to be free of that shit, because all of it is intentional. So, and it's from a fake person probably anyways, trying to provoke me. So, and my mistake I made in the past is thinking that they are a real person provoking me, so anyways, but trying to teach my brain that they're not a real person has been tough, even still. So I still have a lot of work to go. I have a lot of work mentally to go, and I do realize that, I do need to rewire a lot of things, um, because pretty much most of my life wasn't normal. Most of it wasn't normal. I mean, the going to the school and hanging out with friends part was normal. That part was normal. Like going to the public school, you know, that part was normal to me as far as like the feel of it all, hanging out with friends. But what I experienced at home and at religion, both that combined was not normal. That whole experience at home and at religion in churches, not normal to me. So public school was fine. That was my relief. That was my release. Was looking forward to going to school, you know, going to recess, you know, that kind of thing, you know. But that part was all fine and normal to me, you know, it was fine. But home, not normal. Church, not normal, you know. Or religion, not normal. Those two combined, I knew we're not normal. But it's hard to escape it. Trust me. When they're basically traumatizing you constantly, it's hard to escape when they're traumatized, you know. And I'm still a little traumatized even now, you know. Even with all the things I've been doing to be not so traumatized, you know. So anyways, so yeah, I might take a break for a while, or maybe quit totally. I don't know. It would be a lot easier to make videos if I was in like a different state right now, if I'm honest, where I could be in a place of more comfort, not being in the same town as a couple of narcissists that, one being the roommate and the other one being a family member that I don't want them to find me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to know where I am. And so it'd be a lot easier to make videos if I was in a different state where I know that there's no possibility of them seeing me at all, you know, in public, if that makes sense. Because in this town, they could still see me in public, you know what I mean? But in a different state, no, there's no chance. So that needs to be my next plan, or next thing I need to be focusing on is a new state, or scoping out a different state, you know. I did want to have this nerve pain totally resolved before I made a jump to a new state, but maybe a new state would help ease the nerve pain, because the nerve pain's connected to being around narcissists, even in the same town, you know. So that could possibly cure, I don't know for sure, being in a different state where none of them know where I am, maybe could cure the nerve pain. I'm not sure. But it's hard to say. Part of me is kind of afraid of making a jump to another state, kind of blind a little bit. But at the same time, it could be the best move I've ever made, you know, like with, from that lady in a video I saw earlier today going to Florida. It was the best move she ever made, you know, and she's happy as fuck, you know, right now. And so, um, maybe I should go to Florida. But she's not the only person I've heard that wants to go to Florida. I mean, like it seems like every empath I come across wants to go to Florida. But I do know there's an empath community in Florida. I do know that, um, from what I heard, uh, from uh, the other empaths that I've come across. One of the empaths that wants to go to Florida is, uh, or was, the first person to ever tell me that I am an empath. And she did a little test to make sure, and I could do the test. So I know I'm not like a lot of empaths. I know I'm not. Um, I may have been when I was under 12 years old, that loving empath, you know, but I admit I'm not that, um, these days. Um, I do, from what Narc Poacher was saying about the dark empath, I fit that kind of description pretty good. um, how uh, they are more narcissistic than a normal empath by far, and that's true, and I admit that. But I don't think I'm on my father's level, though. I don't think I'm on my father's level. Uh, he, he, he's way above anything where I'm at. Uh, so, and I admit I don't have the connection to nature totally. I admit nature does help me, but I don't have that real uh, nature is everything kind of a feel, you know, like a regular empath does, you know, if that makes sense. Um, I'm kind of partly like nature is okay now and then, but if I'm honest, I'd rather play a video game, you know, if I'm honest, you know, but so I don't know. So there is that difference for sure. And I don't read tarot cards. You know, I don't have a thing for tarot. I don't have a thing for psychic reading, you know, giving people readings. You know, I don't have a thing for that. You know, so there is a difference for sure, between myself and regular empath for sure. Um, and I do admit that. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Um, but yeah, I may take a break for a little while. Um, I'll probably still watch videos like, uh, I think watching Chico's videos, I think I'm more ready for. Uh, in my opinion, it's a more advanced uh, kind of a thing, uh, because like it's more for a person that's already kind of past the isolating self place and can defend against themselves wherever they go, kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Can deflect these narcissists wherever they go, type of a thing. And I admit, when I first started watching Chico's videos, I was not ready for it. No, as far as like putting the things into practice that he was talking about, I was not ready for that at all. I was still living with a narcissist roommate, you know, and at the time, so definitely was not ready for uh, basically going to toe toe with narcissists in public. You know, I was barely surviving in a house. You know, like at the time, could barely think straight. You know, uh, yeah, my brain was all over the place. You know, um, so I may still watch his videos because I think I'm more ready for his videos. Um, and putting the things he's talking about into action, you know, because I don't think I do very well. Even I do okay if I got approached these days, but as far as deflecting it, I don't know how well I do, you know. Um, I'm not really on Chico's level, not even close. Um, so, anyways, but I do think I'm more ready to put some of the things he's saying into more practice, you know. Uh, so at this point, so I'll probably still watch his right now. But as far as defending my videos to a million people, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because it puts me in a Goodwill Hunting mode in that part in the movie when he's yelling at the math professional, you know, how easy this is for him, you know. But if you haven't seen the movie, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Um, but if you have, you know exactly the part I'm talking about. When he gets mad at when he burns the work he's done that's so easy for him to do, you know, that part. That's so. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say really for this video.